Hello and welcome again to Fox Comics and Games in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois. And we are unpacking this week's comic book order from Diamond Comics. And we're going to start with a few of the figures and the statues and the whatnots and the kind of the odd or stranger stuff that aren't just straight ahead comics. And we're going to start this week with the Wonder Woman figures. This is the Rebirth Wonder Woman, and they are really cool. There's 5 in this series. And I believe that is number 4, and I believe it comes with a little book as well. So fantastic value for the Wonder Woman fan on your list. Up next we have from the DC Artists Gallery, the DC Collectibles series. This is Batgirl from Show Maras, part of the ongoing run of statues they've put out for DC, and they're all numbered and wonderful statues, beautiful, and that is gorgeous as well. Then for the manga readers, we have from Tokyo Pop this week, we have Disney and Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, and those are pretty cool. They go on sale tomorrow as well. And then from Dynamite Publishing, we have Vampirella, the tarot deck, tarot cards with images of Vampirella on it. It's sexy, it's fun, it's sassy, it's cool. Why not? Then from DC, we have a cool novel, not so much comic book as it is a novel, but it is a Batman novel, and it is Harley Quinn, Mad Love, and it is by Paul Dini, who has done the famous Harley and Joker dancing image, if you'll remember that. Really cool. And then from Valiant, we're quite excited about this, the Divinity Complete Trilogy Deluxe Edition hardcover. Those of you who aren't reading Valiant, and you hear Mr. Fox say this all the time, if you're looking for a great place to jump into a universe that you're not familiar with, you could start with something like this. It's all 3 of the Divinity series put into one hardcover book. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the artwork on the back. It is really cool, and it is a great series. You will not be disappointed in it. Okay, and now before we get started on the comic book side of things, we would like to remind you that December is the month for Fox Comics and Games and also Fox Sports Cards, both stores. We collect heavily all month long in December for the Marion Food Pantry. So for the comic book side, we're going to say we will read for food. You can donate all month long. You can bring food items when you're out shopping, buy an extra case of soup or ramen noodles or something and bring it to the store. We'll be collecting items all month long. You can drop them off every day but Sunday at either store, the sports card shop or the comics and game shop. But you can drop off there. Our Christmas party will have tickets that we're selling, like raffle tickets. It's a great way to support the pantry. It's a great way to support people in need this time of year when we're all focusing on Christmas and presents that we're buying for other people. It's always nice to remember that there's some people that just need to eat. So something to think about over the course of the holidays. Now we're going to start out the comics section with Kaboom's Adventure Time, Season 11, Issue 3. Kind of a great book for younger readers, as is Albert Einstein's Time Masons, and this is issue 3 as well, and that's been a surprisingly very well done book. Then from Marvel Publishing, we have issue 11 of The Amazing Spider-Man, and beautiful cover on that. And speaking of beautiful covers, one of our top 5 covers of the week, as voted on by the staff here at Fox's, is this beautiful image on the variant edition of Amazing Spider-Man issue 11. Just beautiful. Next up, also from Marvel, we have As Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 4. And that seems to be a series that's picking up more and more readers as it goes along, so it must be fairly well written. And then we have also from Marvel, issue 11, The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. DC is up next with Batman, and it's an annual. It's the 3rd annual for this Batman, and it looks quite sassy. Also out this week, highly anticipated, Batman Damned, Book 2. really, really cool. Kind of an adult treatment of the DC Universe characters. If you're familiar with Vertigo, that's where DC normally publishes their more profane or violent or sexually explicit items, is under the Vertigo publishing header. Those are for characters DC has that are not part of the DC Universe. This Black Label series is going to be where they have adult themed or violent themed or what have you for DCU characters. So a great place to find some really good stories. Also highly anticipated from DC out this week, issue 1 of 6 of The Batman Who Laughs. Those of you who like Scott Snyder, jump on board. You will love every minute of it. Our cover of the week is actually related to that. It's the variant cover for The Batman Who Laughs, issue 1. And then we also carry blank cover variants of Batman Who Laughs, issue 1. So you'll find those here as well. Those of you who like having artists draw your own cover on there, that's always a great, cool thing to do. Next up from Dynamite, we have issue 2 of Battlestar Galactica. They kind of re-kicked that, and it's been pretty good so far. Image Publishing is up next with issue 34 of Birthright. Image is also up next with issue 2 of Bitter Root. Mr. Fox thinks he took her to prom. From Dark Horse Comics, up next we have from the Black Hammer universe and Jeff Lemire, we have Black Hammer Cthulhuese. So Cthulhuese. So there you are. And then Marvel is up next with issue 2 of the Black Order. And let me see. And then next up from Marvel we have issue 7 of Black Panther. Boombox is up next with issue 6 of By Night. And then Ahoy Comics is our next entrant with issue 3 of Captain Ginger. For those of you who like adventure and cats, there you are. Then from Image Publishing, we have Warren Ellis's next release, Cemetery Beach, issue 4. Always dark and gritty with Warren Ellis, and that is no exception. Marvel is up next with issue 27 of Champions. Aftershock Comics, which has really done a great job the last year or two coming on and putting out some really good books, brings us issue 2 of Dead Kings, a Steve Orlando title, and that is issue 2 of that, and it is phenomenal. Then next up from Marvel is Doctor Strange, The Best Defense, issue 1, part of their ongoing Best Defense series. I think they're doing 2 a week, every week for a while now. And this is the beautiful variant, actually in our top 5 covers of the week, the Doctor Strange variant on that. And then next up, also from Marvel, is issue 1 of Silver Surfer, The Best Defense. And I think it's just called Defense. And the beautiful variant cover for Silver Surfer, Defense Silver Surfer. Then from DC, we have beginning the countdown to issue 1000. So I'm guessing Tomasi is kicking off a new run here. That's going to run 6 or 7 issues, I'm sure. Issue 994 of Batman Detective Comics. Beautiful cover, beautiful everything, beautiful story, great stuff. And as always, beautiful variant cover from DC. Fantastic. Then from Image Publishing, we have issue 3 and issue 4 of Robert Kirkman, the guy doing Walking Dead. His new series, Die, Die, Die. Both book 3 and book 4 hit today. Next up from IDW, and these are really well done. If you have a young reader on your Christmas list and you're looking for something good to get them that's fun, the Disney Comics and Stories, issue 2. Really nice paper it's printed on, great art, great stories. Good job, Disney. Next up from DC, we have issue 2 of The Electric Warriors. And from Boom Studios, we have Cullen Bunn's The Empty Man, issue 2. It's been getting great reviews here in the store. And then next up we have Fantastic Four, The Wedding Special, issue 1. And great cover on that. And then some of the variants that are available for that. Those of you that are Stanley Lau or Art Germ fans will enjoy this. This is actually in our top 5 covers of the week as well. The Stanley Lau Fantastic Four Wedding Special variant. If you've seen some of his Catwoman covers for her variants, you'll know who we're talking about. Next up from DC, issue 60 of The Flash. And again, as they always do, a phenomenal variant cover for The Flash. Actually made the top 5 best covers this week in the voting this week at Fox's. And then next up from Boom Studios, we have Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers, issue 15. And a couple of the variants that are available for that. There's one there, which is fantastic. And then another variant cover as well, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then next up we have from DC Vertigo, speaking of DC Vertigo, we have Goddess Mode, issue 1, highly anticipated. A lot of people have this on their pull list. And we did get in some of the variant covers for Goddess Mode issue 1, and that is what they look like there. Then next up from DC, we have Hawkman issue 7. And then from Image Publishing, we have, this is a quarterly, put out once a quarter. It's a book called Headlopper. And that is volume 3, and that is issue 2 of volume 3. And then another highly anticipated title out this week, as you can tell, it's a big week at the comic store. The Hellboy Winter Special, which is always a phenomenal book and a big seller for us. It is out as well this Wednesday, December 12th, so you will want to avail yourself of that title as well. Image Publishing also brings us Hit Girl, issue 11. Fantastic cover on that. And then again from DC Vertigo, issue 4, The Sandman Universe, House of Whispers. Image Publishing brings us issue 3 of Infinite Dark, which this has been a really good story. Nice premise. Dynamite Publishing brings us Ian Fleming's James Bond Origin, issue 4. Great book, has been selling well. Archaea Publishing brings us the always beautiful Jim Henson's Beneath the Dark Crystal, issue number 5. I believe there's 12 total on that. Next up from Dark Horse is issue 4 out of 5 of Joe Gollum, Occult Detective. Kind of is exactly what you think it is, kind of a crime noir with a little bit of an occult slant to it. It's really, really cool. Think American Horror Story and you'll have the idea. Next up from DC, we have issue 6 of Justice League Dark. And one of our top 5 covers of the week, the Justice League Dark issue 6 variant cover, just phenomenal. Another one, and this was a close runner-up to our cover of the week, from Image Publishing. It is issue 5. I know quite a few of you are going to be excited by this because it's a huge seller here in our store. Mark Millar's Magic Order, issue 5. As you can see, it looks like that wizard is committing suicide. IDW is up next with issue 1 of Magic the Gathering Chandra. That'll be highly anticipated in both our comic shop and our gaming shop. So that's a twofer as we refer to that. And then next up from Marvel Publishing, another highly anticipated title, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. kind of getting his own comic with his name on the front instead of just Spider-Man by Brian Michael Bendis. So this should be a nice run and kind of exciting to read. And that's what the variant cover looks like there. Another of our top 5 covers of the week, and this is mainly just because of the name of the book. Mr. Fox really enjoyed the Viva La Boss side of the new Minions, issue 2. But that is a phenomenal book there. Marvel's up next with issue 6 of Mr. and Mrs. X. And then Dark Horse Publishing is up next with issue 3 of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And it is exactly what you think it is. Again, another highly anticipated title that's out this week. December's always busy, busy, busy for the publishers, and this year is no exception. A lot of phenomenal books. Check out your comic stores wherever you're located, because they will have good books this week. That's a promise. Next up from DC is the New Talent Showcase, where they showcase some of the new artists and writers, and they each do little short stories in there, and it's phenomenal. And you'll see a lot of big names years from now. This will be their first appearance for DC, and that's kind of cool to get. Kind of a rookie card, if you would, for comic books. Image Publishing is up next, and again, a Robert Kirkman title, issue 10 of Oblivion Song. And then also from Image, we have issue 2 of Outer Darkness. Marvel brings us Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, issue 313. Dark Horse Comics brings us issue 5 of The Quantum Age, and this is from the World of Black Hammer, another Jeff Lemire title tied to the Black Hammer series. Great books. Let me see. Ooh, yeah, from Titan Comics, we have Robotech, issue 15. Then from Image Publishing, we have issue 15 of Rose, very popular book here at our store. DC brings us issue 32 of Scooby Apocalypse. Kind of ties up some of the loose ends of the previous 31 issues. Then from Valiant Publishing, we have issue 10 of Shadow Man. And then from DC, we have issue 11 of Sideways. And then speaking of great looking covers, we have from Image Publishing issue 1 of Spawn Kills Everyone 2. And that's the main cover. And then this is the bloodier version, which is a bloodier variant. And then we have the somewhat blank variant for that, issue 1 as well. Then from Marvel, we have issue 3 of Spider Force. Kind of a cool run, and that's part of the Spider-Geddon tie-ins, as is issue 3 of Spider Girls. I think Mr. Fox took several of them to prom as well. Then next up from Marvel, we also have, as part of the Spider-Geddon tie-ins, we have Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider. So that's pretty cool, and a great cover on that. That also made our top 5 covers. Then from IDW, for the Trekkies amongst us, we have a novelization of the Waypoint story, Star Trek Waypoint, and that looks phenomenal for all of you who are very much into Star Wars. Next up, from Marvel, we have, or Star Wars, Age of the Republic, Darth Maul, issue 1. Great looking cover on that. And then one of our top 5 covers of the week, one of the variant covers for that as well. And then another beautiful variant as well. And then our final variant for Age of Republic Darth Maul number 1. Then we have also from Marvel issue 27 of Star Wars Dr. Aphra. And also from Marvel, another Star Wars Han Solo Imperial Cadet, issue 2. And then from DC, we have issue 49 of Suicide Squad. And one of our top 5 covers of this week also was the Suicide Squad issue 49 variant cover. DC also brings us issue 25 of Supergirl. And then the, as always, beautiful variant cover of Supergirl is right there, and that looks phenomenal. Next up from DC, we have issue 6 of Superman. And as always, we carry the variant cover for Superman as well. And then from DC, we have issue 31 of the Titans. And as always, issue 31 of Titans variant cover. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Marvel brings us Typhoid Fever Iron Fist, issue 1. That's up next. Looks like a good book. Marvel also brings us issue 5 of Uncanny X-Men, part of the X-Men Disassembled. After that, we have from Dynamite, issue 1 of Vampirilla versus Reanimator. And that's Cullen Bunn writing that, so that should be fairly well written and a good story. Next up from Marvel, we have issue 27 of Weapon X. Dark Horse Comics brings us William Gibson's Aliens 3. Great looking cover on that, I thought. Then we also have from Guardian Knight Studios, Brian Shear's William the Last, issue 3. That's been a neat little book. DC brings us one of Mr. Fox's favorites, Wonder Woman, issue 60. And of course, her variant cover made our top 5 because Mr. Fox votes twice because he can, he's the owner. So that's one of our 5 best covers of the week. As is the X-23 cover from Marvel, issue 7 of X-23. Beautiful cover on that. Great job, Marvel. And then finally for this week, a lot of comics in, is issue 11 from Marvel, X-Men Red. So that is this week's comic books and some of the other items that came in. We hope you'll jump into the store and come see us and have a great Christmas season. Thanks so much.